It's beer o'clock on Real Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Nøgne, and it's a bottle of their Marooned. It's a Flanders Red Reserve barrel age coming in at 7% ABV. It's 10 IBUs, 14% Palate. Here's the bottle cap. I'm super excited to get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Here we go. Look at the smoke on the bottle opening. Lost my glass. Beer in the glass then. That was me shaking it up a bit. It wasn't. If I was calm with that, then it wouldn't have jumped out the bottle. I've been a bit too excited for the beer. Okay, you can hear the carbonation against the microphone. Angry, hissing, fizzing. Look at that carbonation. The head's dissipated quite quickly. For this style of beer, for a Flanders Red Ale, the heads do essentially, especially, I think this beer has cherries in it. Oh, it's been maturated for a year on red wine barrels. So it's going to lose its head quite quickly. It's all down to the style of the beer. It looks really good though, slightly hazy. I'd say it's an amber coloured ale with a hint of red hue in it. Nice and hazy. Great carbonation. Let's get the aroma. Oh my goodness me. If you handed this to me, been to Belgium on a number of occasions, if I was in a Belgian cafe bar and you just handed me this beer, of course without the Nøgne branded glass, I would say it was pushing towards a creek, like a cherry creek. It's just got loads of oak. It's definitely kind of in between creek and lambic. And I think that's the red wine barrel. But really oaky, really vanilla-y and oaky and woody. Lots of fruits going on. And a touch of horse blanket. Smells wonderful, really wonderful. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Boom! Boom! Stone the crows, stone the crows. What an awesome beer. Mouth puckeringly sour, brings you to your toes. There's a hint of balsamic vinegar, there's a hint of red wine, there's a hint of oak. The drinkability of this beer is fantastic. It's not super thin. It's going nowhere near the kind of the medium mouthfeels of big malty brews. It's just super refreshing and super drinkable. The sourness though, that wonderful sourness, just will never cease to not get me excited. And it's all sensation for me. The first split second is all about sensation. So you have the beer really carbonated and pushing around the inside of the mouth, and then with that combination of that burst of carbonation, you're having a burst of sourness, and it's all kind of like eye blinking, lost control of your mouth wonderfulness. Hissing, fizzing. It's like a firecracker in your mouth, it really is. And the sourness is superb, absolutely superb. That is an amazing beer. Amazing beer. and it cleans your palate. I can just feel the inside of my mouth. You know when, how can I explain this? My palate feels refreshed. It feels like it's had a slap round the cheeks and it's woken up from some kind of slumber. Just the sensation of the sourness alone is just absolutely terrific. It is absolutely terrific. Up there with, it's not even a Belgian beer, up there with the best Belgian beers I've ever tried. I've been to Cantillon. I've bought bottles of Cantillon from the brewery. I've drank in Cantillon, and this, I think if you gave this to the head brewer of Cantillon, sat him down, put a brown bag around the bottle so he couldn't see what it was, and opened it and said, try this, I think he would think it was a top class beer. A proper Flanders red. And it's been, I've got a bit of paperwork. At this stage, I want to mention the beer was sent to me by Nøgne. It was sent to me by Nøgne. It is an independent beer review. I'm as honest as I can. Well, I am honest in my beer reviews. If this was a bad beer that Nøgne sent me, I would tell you 100%. But I just want to read this bit of paperwork that they've sent me. A Flanders Red Reserve, 7% ABV. A Flemish red ale fermented on stainless steel vessels for 2 years. So 2 years. And then using local wild yeast and bacteria for the 2 years. Then a further year maturating on red wine barrels. So then they talk about it's a refreshing, funky, complex ales with aromas of acidic berries, balsamico vinegar and stable, so horse blanket. Taste of red berries, balsamico, grains and oak. I picked up I haven't got to the grains yet, I'll get to that in a moment, but I've been picking up the big flavours, which is the grape, the balsamico and the oak. The oak is fantastic. So you're talking about a beer that started life 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And I've been to Belgium and I've sat in a conference where they explain about sour beer. They talk to me about sour beer, not just me, but about 50 people in a room. And they were showing stuff on a graph where it needs this time to age, to mature, to do what it needs to do to become a sour beer. Apparently, in the first year of its life, it's completely undrinkable. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember, so I'm not going to be the one to explain that today, but it really does take that 2 years, and then that extra year in red wine barrels to get to where we are today. And I'm glad they've done that. I'm glad that they've gone out, Nøgne, and made the effort to experiment and produce this world-class beer. I'm going to rate it. Marooned, Flanders Red Reserve, barrel aged by Nøgne. I'm going to go out and say this is the best beer I've tried so far in 2019. We're heading towards the end of February. We're very early on in the year, but if this is not in my top 10 at the end of 2019, boy, there's going to be some amazing beers coming out in 2019. I think this is going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year, maybe number 1. It's absolutely ridiculously fantastic. Stone the Crows. If I had more fingers, I'd give more numbers. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.